Hey guys, Wolfe here for another reaction video, and yeah, we are back after a little while for maybe like 3 days now, I think. So sorry about that. I know I was gonna say that I was gonna start doing videos every single other day, but a lot of things have happened. I have fallen sick apparently, and my mom decided to force me to drink something. I don't even want to describe how disgusting it was. But I'm feeling a bit better after that, so can't complain too much. Other than that, had to mow the yard. That's pretty much it. School's picking up a bit more. We're learning more about just random stuff. We're going a lot more into math, though. Holy crap, we're going really in depth to math. But yeah, I want to try starting doing a schedule, but I really don't have any clue how to start doing a schedule. I will try uploading Wednesday, if not Wednesday, then maybe by Thursday. Until then, if you guys have any videos you want me to react to, tell me down in the comments down below. People haven't wanted me to react to more, I forgot the name. I actually forgot the name of it. I forgot the name of the game. The Monica game. Forgot the freaking name of the game. God dang it. You guys want me to react to some more of that? So I will probably do a video on that for Wednesday. Though I did see this one. They made a new video about why not to kill the Ender Dragon in Minecraft. So I'm like, ooh, I play Minecraft, so why should not kill the Ender Dragon? All right, so let's go home again. Froze my voice. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Now I guess. Okay.
According to all known laws of aviation, there is no way that an ender dragon should be able to fly. Its wings are too small to get its massive body off the ground. The ender dragon, of course, flies anyway, because ender dragons don't care what Minecraft builders think is impossible.
You like?
Hello, Internet!
Welcome to Game Theory.
The show that's closing in on 15 million subscribers.
Nice!
Did you know that every time you ring the notification bell, an ender dragon gets its wings? It's true. Try it. Oh, there's one right now. Look at him go. So majestic. You did that. You. And sure, I get it.
And it's joining the entire forest while it hunts for its prey.
You might not want to give an ender dragon anything since it's...
True.
No, the brutally destructive final boss of Minecraft, but by the end of today's episode, I think you're going to be changing your mind. I think you'll also be wanting to snap up some of the new back-to-school theory.
I want the freaking backpack. I want that backpack. The backpack was awesome. I want that. Stop teasing me.
Are starting to run out, so make sure you grab Ender Dragon Extinct. Need something that can fit 5 honors textbooks and 3 binders because you're a smart theorist? Boom! This bag can handle the load. Or maybe you're not in school and you're going on a hike or doing some extracurriculars or just doing some traveling. Well, with pockets galore and tons of straps, you'll be going strong while on the go with this newest batch of theoryware, so make sure you grab it before it's gone. Now, today's theory is a bit overdue in my Minecraft lore series, considering that my first video started at, funnily enough, the end with a capital E, that is. In that episode, I mentioned the Ender Dragon only briefly, speculating that, based on the achievement for defeating it, titled Free the End, it seemed that the Ender Dragon was a tyrant oppressing the society of Endermen. But, after digging into more of the game's secrets, I don't think that's the case anymore. Or, at least it's not the full story. Sure, it might be easy to look at the Endermen, the descendants of an ancient builder civilization transformed by spending generations in the end and subsisting off of a diet of chorus fruit, and presume that they must be at the mercy of this powerful dragon that rules over them. But if we dig into the evidence, it actually tells us something very different. So today we're gonna focus on Jean and her story. Oh, sorry, is that name not ringing any bells for you?
Yeah, that's actually the name of the dragon. Jean's actually the name of the dragon, yeah. I've heard a few other videos call her that. So, wonder why Notch called her that, or named her that.
Confirmed by Minecraft creator Notch and other members of the Minecraft development team that Gene is the official canonical name of the Ender Dragon. Apparently, Minecraft Steve got his name the exact same way. A random comment by the franchise's creator, so as far as I'm concerned, these two names are equally official. Anyway, today is all about Gene and how we, as the player, have been ignorant to the fact that for the past decade, the game has been begging, nearly screaming at us to not kill her. That's right, we're supposed to spare the Ender Dragon. But to understand why, let's start at the beginning of the end. So, to call Jean the Ender Dragon is a bit misleading.
Yeah.
Sure, she's the only dragon found in the end, but the important detail we tend to overlook is that it wasn't always that way. The end gives us clues that, at least at one point in history, multiple Ender Dragons made their home here. For evidence of this, just look at the End ships found throughout the dimension. These things have dragon heads
Dragon
mounted onto their
heads.
masts.
I forgot about those. Me personally, I never beat Minecraft personally, so this is actually really interesting.
Spoils of battles against dragons that once populated this world. And this already tells us a lot of different things. Not only that dragons, plural, once existed in this realm, but also that a dragon-hunting civilization existed. A hunter civilization that apparently must have been pretty successful, judging by the dragon heads found at the mast. And if you're asking who these dragon hunters were, well,
the builders, duh.
Should be fairly obvious. That society of ancient builders that we've been tracking ever since episode 1 of this Minecraft lore series. Whoever constructed these massive flying ships were clearly builders. The End ship is just this impressive feat of engineering with floors constructed from the finest obsidian. There's also the fact that the ship is protected by shulkers, a mob that you might be tempted to write off as just a weird creature shoved into the end to round out the enemies found there, but it is so much more. You see, if you read the entry for the shulker in my favorite go-to Minecraft lore,
actually, I'm freaking annoying, so.
As a reminder, is written from the perspective of an in-world adventurer and researcher, the shulker's purpur blocks might actually be man-made. To quote from the book, the exterior of the shulker may be a natural adaptation to help conceal it, or it may be engineered by the city's architects. That is a weird thing to call out there, book. What a huge logical leap to make. I don't know about you, but it seems to me like it's heavily implying that that is the right answer. That the shulkers were actually engineered by builders. Still, whether these shulkers are a feat of bioengineering or just an instance of cleverly domesticating a native End species, one thing is clear: whoever built the End ships were serious about science. So why were the builders hunting dragons? Were they merely trophy hunting, tracking down the biggest and most dangerous game just because they could? We've talked in past theories how this civilization demonstrated a lot of hubris, convinced that their ability to build gave them the power of gods, with power over life and death. So could the war against dragons just be another extension of that? Maybe, but I don't think it's just that. Case in point, the Elytra capes that enable the player to fly. These capes are kind of like the final reward in a traditional game of Minecraft. You beat the dragon, you get access to the End ship, and boom, you find this unique item.
I mean, actually, you can get to the in cities without really being the dragon. It just takes you a while to get there. So
found here, and not only are they
2,000 blocks actually.
Have a texture and use that all but screams that they were made from the remains of defeated dragons. We clipped their wings so that we ourselves could obtain the power of flight.
Oh,
I don't think it's a coincidence that the one major flying item that we obtain is being done in the one world where the main mob is a giant flying dragon. When the builders got to the end, they saw something they had yet to conquer: the skies. And so they were determined to tame those skies, just like they had done to the overworld and later the nether. Fun fact, by the way, even though Elytra seems to be a made-up fantasy word for dragon wings, the Elytra wings are actually based on real-life biology. Many insect species, especially beetles, possess Elytra, though in the real world, the Elytra wings themselves aren't used for flying, but instead as a protective outer coating covering the hind wings that the beetles actually use for flying. Anyway, with that little biology lesson out of the way, what I'm really interested in here is the story of the Ender Dragon, or I guess I should say stories, because when you actually look at the evidence inside the game, it seems to suggest a tale of multiple competing forces. On one hand, we have the End ships, which seem to be pretty clear evidence that there were builders who were into dragon hunting. So the builders must have been anti-dragon, right? That's where the story gets complicated, because as anyone who's tried to take down the Ender Dragon knows, there are Ender crystals spread across its habitat that are capable of healing it. Someone or something clearly wanted to keep this creature alive. And not only that, but the End crystals themselves are not naturally formed. They're objects that are constructed artificially by combining an eye of ender and a gas tier and then encasing it all in glass. But what's especially telling about the end crystals is where you find them, on top of obsidian pillars and inside of protective cages. In short, it looks like someone has gone through a lot of steps to make this ender dragon harder to kill, not only by creating the end crystals, but by putting them on top of pillars that would be a challenge to reach, and then encasing them in a further protective barrier. And something tells me that Gene lacks the opposable thumbs capable of forging glass. Something else is going on here. Some series of builders really wanted this dragon to stay alive, and so they built an elaborate security system to make sure that that dragon stayed alive. And so we have evidence that suggests two conflicting stories. A ship that seems like the product of builders who are into slaying dragons, and a dragon protection defense grid that seems to be built for the opposite purpose. So what is going on here? Was there like a civil war? Did the builders who came to the end split into two factions? One side taking the role of dragon slayer and the other taking the role of dragon worshipper? If that was the case, why would anyone in their right mind side with the dragons? After all, the Ender Dragon is a hostile mob. Why would someone take it upon themselves to defend the dragons? Well, it seems to suggest that the hunters were too successful, to the point that they nearly hunted the Ender Dragon species to extinction. In real-world ecological studies, there's something called K-selection theory that basically aims to explain how various animal species ensure that their offspring survive.
Sorry, I'm not talking as much. My voice is killing me right now. My throat is. So I'm not going to be talking as much during these videos for the couple of weeks ahead. Hopefully this clears up soon because I like talking.
Theory is founded on this constant trade-off between quality of offspring and quantity
Evil Bunny.
of offspring. On the quantity side of things, you have insects who can produce hundreds, thousands, even millions of tiny little babies in a lifetime. Needless to say that when you're laying that many eggs, each individual ant baby is not going to be getting a whole heck of a lot of tender love and care. On the complete opposite end of the spectrum, you got whales, with some species of whale, like the sperm whale, having a single baby every 5 to 7 years. This means that each individual whale baby is going to get a lot more parental investment. Its whale parents are going to spoil that thing like an only child. And this biological
that's messed up.
Because it brings up an interesting point about the animal kingdom. The
Not wrong, but
messed
up.
The more likely it is to favor quality of offspring over quantity of offspring. Smaller animals like insects, rabbits, and birds can afford to have a lot of babies at once, while larger species like whales, elephants, and rhinos are much slower to reproduce. The Ender Dragon seems to fit with that latter category. It is massive, and it only leaves behind a single egg. But what this reproductive strategy also means is that megafauna, the big animals, while being attractive targets for hunters, are also the species that are most at risk of being hunted to extinction because of how slowly they reproduce. During the 1800s, for instance, the eastern Pacific gray whale was hunted for their blubber, nearly reaching the point of extinction. And mind you, these were not high-tech humans. These were guys in wooden ships powered by sails and armed with harpoons. Still, even with rudimentary tools, those guys were capable of making some substantial damage. More recently, the African elephant population has fallen from an estimated 12 million near the start of the 20th century to a mere 396,000 in the span of 100 years, with the main culprit being human hunters poaching them for their ivory tusks. Heck, even as far back as the Ice Age, many scientists believe that, while yes, the changing climate wasn't doing the woolly mammoth any favors, a major contributing factor to its extinction were humans, at a time when they were just literally cave people throwing around pointed sticks. And when you put it that way, what the end ship represents looks far less heroic.
We drive a lot of
less
things
like
to
valiant heroes
extinction,
to find
don't
the
we?
odds to defeat an insurmountable foe, and it starts to look a lot more like humans doing what humans sadly do best: find a large, attractive target, hunt it down, and don't know when to stop. In fact, it's quite possible that there was no civil war between one faction of dragon hunting builders and another faction of dragon worshipping builders. Honestly, it could just be a simple case of a single civilization hunting the Ender Dragons to the point of extinction, and then realizing, whoopsie, we're on the verge of wiping this thing out. Time to reverse course. In fact, not only are we going to stop hunting these things, things, we're gonna do everything in our power to preserve the only one that we've got left. And hence we have the still remaining defense mechanisms put in place to protect Jean, the last Ender Dragon. And believe it or not, but this lines up perfectly with the behavior that we see coming from our Endermen, the evolved versions of our ancient builders. The Endermen peacefully coexist with Jean, neither attacking the other, but true to their roots, the Endermen are still capable of dragon hunting if forced to. If they're hit by splash damage from one of the Ender Dragon's attacks while you're fighting it, the truce is off. They retaliate and begin fighting for their lives. That old dragon hunting spirit dies hard. Unfortunately, any hopes that the Endermen might have for restoring the Ender Dragon population are meaningless. Sure, they may have decided to stop hunting, but they were too late. While the Ender Dragon does leave behind an egg, that dragon egg is inanimate. There was just a female dragon, Jean, to lay the egg, but due to the lack of a male dragon, her egg isn't fertilized. It's incapable of hatching. Nothing more than a trophy for whatever hunter might arrive to slay the last of the Ender Dragons once and for all. This is also why I suspect that the player is unable to craft Elytra wings. Canonically, we lack the materials. Jean's body can't be plundered and harvested for enough materials, and there are no other dragons that we can get the proper resources from. Therefore, we're left with the only Elytra wings that exist in the world.
This is really just... Wow. Wow. A lot of the... Wow, that's actually really dark now. We killed the last species of dragon in Minecraft. For what? For what? What purpose? None. Just to have its egg as a trophy. And technically you could revive the dragon, but it's not really gonna do anything. Just gives you another reason just to kill it again. Technically you reverse your mistake, but you still did make that mistake in the first place, so...
Minecraft, myself included, have long speculated that the act of freeing the End means liberating the Enderman and the rest of the End's inhabitants from the tyranny of the Ender Dragon. But it could be that the one who truly becomes free in that moment is the Ender Dragon herself, left as the last of her species by a race of builders that hunted them to near extinction, and then preserved forever by those same builders who will never really be able to atone for what they did, or reverse the consequences of those actions. An Ender Dragon forever alone, forever sad at the loss of a race. So on one hand, we absolutely shouldn't kill the last of the species, but on the other hand, it might just be freeing her from her quite literal eternal torment.
True.
But hey, speaking of eternal torment, school is back in session. So whether you're 15 or 50, consider this your last call for our Theory backpack and keychain. The backpack especially was built with storage and security in mind, so it can hold a lot of your stuff and keep it safe no matter what it is. So you have plenty of room to fit your diamonds and books and laptops in there while keeping them safe. Links for that backpack and all the other new Theory items are right below this video. And as always, remember, it's just a theory. A Game Theory.
Thanks for watching. Alright, guys. I'm tired. My voice is killing me. So, I'll see you guys in the next video. Not really much of an outro. I'm sorry I didn't talk as much as I used to do. But, like I said before, I think it's like I said this like at least 3 times now. My voice has been killing me. So, without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next video. See you guys then. Bye. Ow.